Good luck to you. I think you might believe there's somewhere there. Thank you very much.
Hi, Ms. Duade. Very nice to meet you.
Yes, very nice meeting you. I'm really glad to meet you in this environment. I'm very I'm very excited to accept the offer, and I'm really interested in this company.
Congratulations on making it through our various rounds. We do pride ourselves as among the best recruiters, the best places to work for. And we do have a pretty long recruitment process, so thank you for bearing with us. Um, Now we are here to finalize details around the compensation structure, etc. Uh, so I'd like to first understand from you what are your requirements? Is there something that you really value? Because we promote a very productive kind of an environment at the company, and we feel if you are comfortable, then you will be more productive. So is there anything that you value more than other things?
Holidays the cost of the offer, so there are things that are definitely more interested in others. So I'm really excited to be working in this company and actually working with the team. But and I think that the learning opportunity will be great as well. But I guess the first thing we should probably talk first is like the base pay and the bonus. So I definitely, I think that's definitely one of the most important criteria from my perspective. And also, I also want to talk about like in terms of holidays, how many, how many holidays I can actually have, and um, and I also want to talk about like in terms of health insurance coverage, and then actually where I actually will be working from the location as well. So that I would actually want to see like what's your proposed offer, and then we can start from there. Would that be, is that sounds fair to you?
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. So you said base pay and bonus would be one of the key criteria.
Yes.
Um, okay, so considering the position that we have offered to you, I would like to benchmark this with the other people in the firm, uh, the experience that they have and the background that you have, which is quite comparable. Um, so that would be about 30,000 euros is base pay and bonus. On top of that, of course, we do have quite a few other benefits, and we can discuss them as you mentioned, holidays or health insurance. We even have flexible timings, etc. So that is the kind of base pay and bonus, just the monetary aspect of it that we offer in this position.
Yeah.
Does that sound reasonable to you?
So actually, I depends on the figure. So when I actually benchmark against like people, actually, uh, candidates for this particular position, I believe the number that I actually researched is more than the number that you quoted. I was actually more looking on the range of 45,000.
Okay. I mean, I don't know which companies you're benchmarking with. Let's not into those details. But
I also ask like research from my university in terms of this type of experience that I have, what's the usual range of salary we should be expecting. So that's actually where I got my numbers from.
so, I mean, salary is one aspect of the overall compensation. So as I said, you can benchmark salaries across a range of companies, but what we encourage people to look at is the overall compensation, which includes salaries and various other aspects as well. Um, 45,000 is not a salary that we give to anyone at the level. You can be rest assured that no one in the company has, at this position, has a salary of 45,000 euros. So we will not like to be unfair to them or to you. So we'll have to benchmark your salary as well to the other people in the firm. Um, but having said that, let's discuss the other components as well, and see if we can figure out a middle path. Okay. So are things like firstly, when would you like to start? Do you have a start date in mind?
Yes, um, I would want to actually start because I actually don't want I want to actually finish my education before I start a job so I can be 100% on the job. So I would prefer to start like 4 months from today.
Uh, okay. Um, 4 months is quite a bit. We we do value the kind of experience that you will bring to the team, and we do have some projects standing right now where we could use your help, exactly the kind of profile that the client needs as well. But we also understand that you have a fairly good reason. Of course, you want to finish your education. So we are willing to be a little flexible on that. Let's see if we, as I said, we have the project outstanding. So we were of the opinion that if you could join in a few weeks, maybe a month from now, but if you need a couple of extra months, let's, let's be a little flexible. We are willing to be flexible on that. 4 months, maybe three, maybe four. I'll have to maybe confirm that, but that should be, hopefully, that should be okay. Um, are you aware that we also provide subsidies for MBA,
Yes,
education, and other trainings?
of like pursuing my MBA maybe 3 or 4 years down the road. So and it would be helpful when we actually talk about it now in terms of how maybe to see that how much subsidiary the company is actually willing to pay. So I know that there's like a certain range of the subsidiary that it provides to the employees. So of course I will want something that's the higher the better. So but I am flexible in terms of talking to that. I don't want to be like I just want to let you know that I'm flexible to discuss this term
Okay.
as well. So
Okay. So it's usually linked, for your information, it's usually linked to base pay, and it could be only base pay or it could be base pay plus. Uh,
we want very I would want that if there's no obligation to actually return back to work. I want to see if there's such a possibility.
that's what I was getting to. So it could be a combination. It could only be a percentage of your base pay that we provide you for as a subsidy, or it could be a combination of base pay plus an obligation of coming back. Of course, as you would understand, if there's no obligation, then the amount that we will provide you has to be a little lower. But uh, I mean, that is completely something that we can work with.
Yep.
It will have to vary between 1 and 3% of base pay then, if you don't want the obligation to come back. Is that something which is fine with you?
Yep. We can talk about the details on that. I think yeah, the no obligation probably.
Uh, okay. Um, okay. And would you be interested in flexible timings?
So I will probably ask for either I don't know what's the normal range in the company, how many flexible time each employee usually gets. But I'm thinking if anything, I'm willing to be open on this one. So I guess I need between 1 to 2 days. I can work with
2 days
that.
per week.
Yeah.
Actually, earlier we were providing employees 2 days a week, but now, I mean, it's more from the client side. It's we need to increase our face time, like put it like that, with the client. They want to see more of us in their office. We work 4 days at the client side, so we need to balance out their expectation as well. So we are now promoting 1 day a week and maybe not more than 1 day a week of flexible timing. Maybe you can work from home 1 day a week, the remaining 4 in office. Would that be fine with you?
I think for now, I want to look at the whole contract before
Okay.
I would we can agree before we decide on any of the term. But I mean, this one I'm definitely open to
Okay.
negotiate.
Okay. And sorry, I wasn't part of your interviews earlier, so I don't know if you've been asked this earlier, but have you managed a team earlier in
Yes.
the past?
That I will want to have the opportunity to manage a larger team. So ideally, I'm looking for like if I have the opportunity to manage a team of like more than 5 people.
And what is your experience earlier? How many people have you
I
managed?
managed about like 2 to 3 people. So I
Okay.
definitely think that I want to step up to and get myself out of the comfort zone. So I'm thinking I ideally want a much larger size.
Okay.
So
Okay. That sounds very encouraging that you want to step up and take more responsibility. That's something the firm promotes as well. Uh, but we would encourage you to go at it in a gradual manner because, as you would know, in a consulting firm, reputation carries a lot of weight. Uh, and we would like to, like everyone in the firm, to develop gradually. Having said that, if you want to take more responsibility, we can start uh, with maybe or maybe a 4 member team, and then see how it goes. I'm sure you'll be able to manage a team of 4 or maybe even 5, considering that our senior management has also shown their faith in you. But just from a company perspective and a client perspective, we will, let's say, about 4 people for now, and then we'll see. Uh, okay. Um, and you mentioned health insurance as well.
so I quite important if I can actually see if I can actually have like a four, so including myself, excluding myself actually 4 additional members.
Total of 5.
Yes.
Okay. That will have to be a bit of an exception in the fund. We do have a family policy, um, but I'm not sure if we have a policy covering 5 people. It's usually 3 people. Uh, yeah, including the employee. Um, but if that is that something that you really value, something that you would. That's something important. Um, okay. If that is something that is really important to you, maybe we can. I mean, as I said, it's the overall package, and if this is something that really makes sense for you, we can then maybe balance out a few other things, and we can say, can you plus 3 family members? Is that fine? Does that work? Um, okay. Um, and holidays, we usually have 1 to 2 weeks of holiday per year. Uh, it usually depends on at every level. It's about how long you've been in the firm. It's also a function of the equity that you built up in the firm. Officially, of course, the number of weeks will be fixed, uh, but depending on the project manager and the work on the client side, you can take more leaves if it makes sense. That's why we start with 1 to 2 weeks, but that kind of increases in correspondence with the project and the project manager. If there's some downtime in the farm, then we will give you more leaves, and that those will not be deducted off this. That usually happens because business tends to be cyclical. Um, how do you feel about that 1 to 2 weeks per year officially?
As well, considering the base pay figure that you quoted, because I think those two are probably the only monetary value of the offer. So I feel those two together is a little on the low side. That from what I have in mind.
Well, I'd like to hear from you if you have any expectations.
I am hoping it will be more close to 4 weeks,
Um,
but we can negotiate that. We can actually look at that one with base pay together, and that would be easier.
uh, okay, okay. Then let's
Because
come
I
to
feel
base
those
pay.
two are the monetary value of the actual contract.
Okay, okay, fine. If those are the two things that you would like to focus on from a monetary perspective, that's fine. Um, if you want to, of course, if you want to increase the holidays a bit, then we'll have to negotiate the base pay down a little bit. What is the, if you can give me like in combination, what would be your expectation on base pay and bonus and holidays? What would be ideal for you?
For like the employee around this position is about 45,000. But you mentioned that it's probably a little high for your company. So I am willing to be flexible as well. So and for the holiday, I was looking more on the 4 weeks. But I think for me, and that would definitely be my ideal package. But I am open to if it can be base pay of 42,000 and I can reduce the holidays to 3 weeks.
Um, 42 is still quite expensive for a farm. It's still in the growth stage. I'm sure salaries will be change. There will be increase later on, considering the steep growth trajectory that our farm is going through right now. But at this point, 42,000 is very, very high for us. As I mentioned, 45,000 is a salary that no one has, neither is 42,000 euros. We have to talk somewhere in the 30s. Uh, and in conjunction with the holidays, if you want a few more holidays, we can maybe do 4 weeks and somewhere in the early 30s, early 30,000s.
36,000.
Um, 36,000 and 4 weeks. Um, um, well, let's park it for now and we can discuss the others.
Office location.
Uh, yeah. Oh, yeah, or the office location. Um,
I would. So I don't know where usually my this position usually sits, but I would prefer if I can actually be in the new city.
just give me 1 second. You want in the new city. Um, our new city office is because a lot of people have moved to that office. It's filling up quite rapidly, uh, to the extent that we are now in the margin that we had thought we'll keep in case we have any additional meetings or clients coming over to office or some person who really really wants to be in the new city. Do you have any particular reasons you want to be there?
I actually do because I live my family is actually more close to the new city. So to be very frank, the commute time is drastically different. If I were to commute to the new city versus to the
Mm.
old city.
Yeah, yeah, I completely understand. Yeah, because that's something that I'm also doing. But a lot of people are going through that. But as you might imagine, it's a bit of a trade-off. Uh, if if that is something that you really really value, because a lot of people have expressed interest in this, but they've then taken the relatively higher pay and moved to the old city with their family. That's also an option that they've taken. Um, but if you want to if that is a key concern for your university, then maybe we'll have to negotiate a bit on the base pay. Is that something is do you see that as a trade-off? Is that fine? From it might not be very, I mean, low base pay. We are already talking about the mid 30s. It will be some other early 30s.
Yeah, I feel that actually completely agree. I feel I like initially I started when I was expecting something more close to 45,000. So I feel that 36,000 it was already something that I that's a lot different from what my initial expectation was.
Uh, okay, okay. Um, so let's see if if we can like reach a middle point at some of the other criteria, factors then. So for now, if we say 36,000 euros, and we mentioned 4 weeks of holidays, right? Um, uh, and you want to be in the new city. Um, so
I'm actually open to negotiate.
yeah, uh, maybe then we'll have to reduce a bit on the flexible timings. We have to 1 day a week because, as I said, we do have clients coming in to the new office quite a lot, and we want them to also meet our employer than in a British office. So it will have to be then a 1 day a week.
Okay, I would be okay with that.
Okay. And subsidy for MBA training, you said you don't want a obligation at all, which is fine. Then we have 1% of base pay as our MBA subsidy if you don't need, I want an obligation to come back after postgraduate graduation. Is that fine with you?
The problem,
Yeah,
do you have that?
1% of base pay as
Then
subsidy
no,
for MBA.
no obligation.
No, no obligation. Okay.
We can discuss on the other, cause that one,
What are your expectations on that?
yeah, I'm hoping it will be 1% probably pretty low. Um,
Let's see, the maximum that we provide is about 3%, and that includes, that comes with a obligation to join us back.
okay. So if I have to do an obligation, then if I'm okay to negotiate in terms of coming back to work, I then we can actually increase the base pay, right?
Well, basically, going beyond the mid 30s is going to be a bit of an issue. Unless that is the only thing that you like to focus on and not any of the other things. Because it's a bit of a trade-off.
Then in terms of the other criteria, the other factors.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
I will. You want to just come back to this one, and you want to see like, because I think the other one that we finished. So that one, can we come back to this one?
Okay. So, you mentioned that you would like to be flexible on the
Starting date.
on the starting date, um, and you want 4 months from today. Um, Let me look at this in conjunction with the team size that you would like to handle.
Okay.
Um, uh, you said that you like to handle a team size of 5 members. Uh, how about we agree that we'll give you a team size of 5 people to handle, so that that is something is that's a career ambition. You achieve that faster, uh, but you join us a little sooner, maybe 2 months, maybe 3 months from today.
Okay.
Yeah, 3 months from today. Um, Size start date. Flexible timing of 1 day a week we agreed on, right? Okay. On the health insurance coverage, we usually have candidate plus 2 family members. But I think we discussed that we can do candidate plus three if we look at then the base pay and bonuses along with that. Because if It's also a monetary benefit at the end of the day.
I agree.
Uh,
So um, I'm willing to, if you give me the health insurance coverage, I'm willing to negotiate on the base pay for the MBA subsidy.
okay, so you want candidate plus three family members. We can give you that, and with a 1% of base pay for subsidy of MBA. Does that make sense?
Would increase it to more? Let's say would 3% be okay?
3% is going to be difficult.
3%.
Yeah.
Then can I? Because I actually have 4 siblings. So
Um,
would coverage of myself and 4 family members be possible?
mm, it is, but see, understand that each of these does have a monetary implication behind it. So does health, so does a space in the new city or holidays where you're away from work. So at some point, at some level, they're all interconnected. So if you have a higher health insurance coverage of candidate plus four family members, then we'll have to negotiate on some of the other things. Maybe base pay goes down to 33,000.
Would be very low compared to like what I was wanted to. So
Or maybe then we go back to the subsidy of 1%. So maybe you can take candidate plus four family members and then subsidy of 1% for the MBA.
um, I would do okay 1%.
Okay.
But you will give me 4 member,
Four members. Yeah.
including myself.
Yeah. Yeah. So candidate you plus three family members. Um, so what we have left to talk about are the base pay and bonus, holidays, and office location. Now, I'd like to hear from you which is like, I mean, what is your priority? If you were to pick, not just priority, if you were to pick one in terms of highest importance, which one would it be?
As a person, because my commute time is very long, I'm going to the old city, so I definitely need to work in the new city. And base pay, um, I feel actually is 36,000, which I thought we agree on. Is actually very actually it doesn't it is I feel like I expected 45,000, but I'm willing to go to 36,000. So I'm not sure if I'm okay with going down more than that.
Yeah, I mean, that's why I asked, I mean, which is of the highest importance to you? So right now,
So
what
it
we,
would be location and the pay.
so what we can offer you now among these is, if I just look at base pay and office location, it could either be 36,000 euros and the old city. Um, uh, yeah, it could be 36,000 euros and it could be the new city, or it could be 33,000 euros and it could be the old city. What combination?
And the new city.
36,000, 36,000 and the old city, sorry. 36,000 and the old city, or 33,000 in the new city office. Because as I mentioned, a lot of people want to come to the new city.
Then holiday I have to have 5 weeks. 3,000.
5 weeks. See, as I told you, your holidays will definitely be a little more than what we have here. They are at least 2 to 3 weeks more because there are cycles in our business, and those will not be counted against these holidays. So while I could make it like 4 or even 5 weeks, uh, I mean, you might have to give up on a few other things, but you don't really need to because you will get at least 5 weeks holidays, even if you go for 3 weeks here. So that is something that has happened in the company that is from past experience that I'm telling.
Eventually,
Yeah,
yeah, that the starting off it will be 3 weeks, right?
yeah.
Because actually, I thought that because
Let's say, I mean, if you okay, sure. Uh, so would this make sense to you? 33,000 euros, uh, and the new city, uh, and 3 weeks of holidays.
no, then we probably have to negotiate on some of the one that we discussed, maybe the health insurance. Because I will actually, I think 36,000 is the lowest I can go. I can go down in terms of the holidays. And we can negotiate
So you
the
said
house
you can
insurance.
go down on the holidays, so maybe 4 weeks.
Yes, the 36,000 is unfortunately the lowest I can go down to.
Okay. But then we'll have to talk on the office location then.
I think that it's going to the old city is actually double on my commute time. No problem.
Yeah, but the thing is that it's something which is common for a lot of people. That's why I asked if there's anything beyond that that is very critical for you, then we would be happy to accommodate you. But otherwise, it will be unfair to accommodate you and not the others if the reason is the same.
So for me, it's definitely the new city, and I think 36,000. Because I actually go down from 45 to 42, and yes, actually from 42 I did not want to negotiate anymore. I just go down directly to 36 because I feel that's actually a reasonable pay.
Yeah, I understand that and I appreciate that. But I think we've been flexible as well. We've encouraged you to take more responsibility if you want to, providing you a five-member team. We understand that you would like to finish your education, so you can start 3 months from today. Although we have projects outstanding, maybe we could use your expertise right now. So we are encouraging you to do that as well. Um, but on the pay and the office location, it will be unfair for me to offer you the new city and a higher pay and not to our existing employees.
Yeah, so I guess the only thing if I take the 33,000 with the new city, only if I can get the 5 weeks.
5 weeks of holidays.
Yes.
Okay, let's go with that then. Okay, so let me reiterate. So we have a base pay of 33,000 euros, 5 weeks of holidays. Office location would be the new city. Health insurance would be you plus three family members. Team size of five. You joining 3 months from today. Subsidy of MBA would be 1% of base pay, and flexi time of 1 day per week. Okay, I think we have a deal.
Okay, very nice.
Thank you very much.
I can work for you,
Yes,
with you in the
we,
future.
yes, we'll be very excited to have you on board, and all the best.
All the best to you.
Thank
I hope
you.
to see you in the company.
Yeah. Oh man.